Hey, it's Rich back with you for another video. Today I'm doing some training with a customer who bought a Mustang from us, working on some arrival and departure procedures in Southern California. And this is something we do with our planes, you know, help them out transition into the airplane. This particular airplane we did a video on a while back. It had a hydraulic issue when we couldn't get the gear up, but we did end up fixing the problem and got them back going, so that all worked out well. Let's take you along on this flight up to Santa Maria and back.
Taking off over there on the other runway.
Yep. Inner tower.
Okay. Anti-collision landing lights. Good? Okay.
Citation 1 Tango Papa, traffic upwind, runway 26 right is westbound. Cessna, altitude indicates 600, runway 30, let's take off.
30, clear for takeoff, 511 Tango Papa.
It's your pitot heat too.
Oh.
Number 02 Yankee, number 2, following traffic on a mile funnel, runway 26 right.
Hey, board's clear?
02 Yankee, following traffic, runway 26 right.
To the D10s?
Stay with options.
Can we right cross the
here we go.
Lima Papa?
Number 9 Lima Papa on the go, right across the street.
Okay, 50. 70 cross checks complete, everything's looking good, and we're ready. It's going up. It's normal.
Traffic.
Pilot's on. Coming out of takeoff thrust.
Citation 1 Tango Papa, contact SoCal departure, have a good flight.
On departure, 511 Tango Papa.
Number
Departure, it's citation November 511 Tango Papa at 1600 for 3000.
511 Tango Papa, departure, better contact, climb maintained, 15,000.
Up to 15,000 now, 511 Tango Papa.
511 Tango Papa, what's going to be your rate of climb?
Official about 2800, 511 Tango Papa.
Perfect.
5, right?
5,000. There's your after takeoff check.
Okay, hold on. Flaps coming up. And we're making our turn. Okay, after takeoff, gear handles up, flaps. We're in the climb detent. Yaw dampeners on. Autopilot's on. Anti-ice as required, pressurization. And I'm maintaining my 2800 or better. Takeoff checklist complete.
He gave you a climb and maintain, so
Right.
you can forget everything.
Yeah.
Just go on to 1,000.
Great. And where's my 2800?
ISA.
Oh yeah, really hot. I should have said 2500.
That's all right.
We've been noticing up close to 40,000. It's almost ISA conditions.
We've been +1 about the last 3 or 4 flights I've taken.
Yeah.
Scroll that out a little so we can kind of get some situational awareness of where we're at. One more. There we go. There's pipes. They're above 7 as well.
Tango Papa, proceed direct over.
511 Tango Papa, direct to over.
Thanks.
Perfect. Kind of a bad name for a fix.
Yeah.
Sound like you said 511 Tango Papa over?
Over. Yeah, it did
Like,
to me.
Like, okay.
Like airplane. Over.
Yeah.
Roger,
Victor,
roger.
Roger. Huh? Okay, so we're 9,000 for 15,000. We're dialed in to about 162. We can get on up. I'm pretty happy with the way that I'm functioning in the airplane. I can always get better at doing this better.
Everybody, there's always ways to improve, no matter who you are. But yeah, I think you're doing great, you know?
That stuff's working okay.
Yeah. So real quick, I want to get a quick little tidbit on your thought process on a TBM.
Okay.
And now that you had some time in this airplane.
All right.
So you had a 930?
I had a 900.
900?
And basically, I transitioned out of a Cessna 310 into a TBM A model, a 700. Had that for a number of years, and then got a TBM 850, and it would be one that they called the Legacy 850. It did not have G1000.
Oh, okay.
And then transitioned again to a 900. All three of them were very nice airplanes. The limitations are in a TBM where it's 6.2 pressurization compared to 8.8.
Yeah.
And so at 31,000, you were almost continuously at 9,500, underneath 10,000. It was a very reliable airplane, but airplane demanded a lot of maintenance. And comparison between this and the BM, it was probably maybe more expensive.
Yeah.
The TBM also was limited to 31,000. At 3029 on a day like today, we'd be doing about, I think about 209 to 212.
Right.
And then 900, about 203, or excuse me, 303 in the 850, 315. On a normal ice a day, we'd be in the 20 range on about 64 gallons an hour.
Okay.
It had a very comfortable interior. We typically ran it with 5 seats in it, and its legs were a little bit longer than the Mustang, and the ability to go about 1,000 miles in almost any conditions.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. It had a lot of power reserve, so at idle on the ground, waiting to take off, you're burning 37 gallons an hour. This is only burning 30.
Okay, isn't that interesting?
And so with that power reserve, it gave a little benefit to high and hot, but I'd rather fly this out of a high hot condition.
Yeah. And so far with the Mustang, how many hours you got in it now?
About 80 hours in the Mustang.
What you expected?
I think it's exceeded my expectations. First of all, the 80 hours have been incredibly reliable. There's just no bugs and little problems. You know, there's always a debate between single engine and twin engine airplanes. We're over some mountains, and you know, I'm comfortable with the twin. I had a multi-engine rating before. I think when you look at the accident, characteristics, 70% of the TBM accidents tended to be left wing down in the discussion. And so I think everybody that flies a TBM should get a multi-engine rating just so they learn how to use the pedals.
How about the training, the process to get type rated, get comfortable in this airplane? How'd you feel about that?
There was never a question that I could fly the airplane. And because I had a Cessna 310 before, and I went to SimCon for a lot of years, I was very comfortable with multi-engine.
Yeah.
And so for a new pilot, I'd suggest getting the multi-engine first. After that, it's not a big problem. I enjoyed the SimCon's, flight program. 40 hours for your first week of learning systems is a bit much, but then after we transitioned in flying the airplane, it was a fairly easy thing to fly.
Yeah, good. I think there's a lot of guys that come out of BMs and Meridians, Malibus, and get into either a Mustang or an M2, so it's interesting to hear. Obviously you were happy with the TBM because you kept, upgrading it, so that says a lot about the airplane too.
I got one traffic north of us.
We're there.
Okay, you got him?
I don't have the traffic.
Okay, I'm just rolling into final.
The runway?
Yeah, right there. Okay.
I'll be looking for the traffic.
Right. We got 3 in the green, no red lights. I got flaps down. I got the lights on. Powered up. Got the runway in sight.
Yeah, it's kind of a...
Yeah, I got the VASI, and I'm going down for my 95.
$500.
Oh, everything, in my opinion, looked real good on that. You got good speed control. I think you got good command of the G1000. The only thing that I think you need to work on is pushing the speed, because you're a big boy now, you're flying a jet, and controllers want you to, on these arrival procedures, they want often 280 knots that we can't do, but they're going to want you to, be as fast as you can be. So we'll just try to keep the speed up as best we can to practice.
All right.
But other than that, really good job. I didn't see anything that's
Flaps set. Lights on. Okay, thank you, and we'll work on the speed.
Yeah.
Any cross check? Who's up?
Delta 896, contact SoCal approach 128.5, good day.
28.5, Delta 896, good day.
November 1, Tango Papa, clear direct Gaviota, Golf Victor Oscar, direct Santa Catalina, rest route unchanged.
Okay, 511 Tango Papa is cleared to Gaviota, and then Catalina, and then rest of the route's unchanged.
Thank you.
So looking at this, scroll out and look at what we got there. And I'd be thinking, thinking ahead as much as you can, because you're going to be compressed for time. We got another going to Catalina. They're going to turn you left. However, they might out here somewhere radar vector you in.
Right.
Probably going to be using 3-0. And so let's get the checklist. look at the descent and approach checklist, and while we're clear out here, there's no reason you can't get as far into that checklist as you can.
Right.
I would just start ticking off those things and get way ahead of the game.
Pressurization, we verified. We're good there. Throttles as required. Speed's okay. Altimeters were set. 3001. VREF. That's done.
So the point is on these checklists to get as far into them as you can. I like to get to a point where all I need is flaps, gear flaps, which is where you're at.
I've got towers in. I'm trying to stay way ahead
Exactly. You've got your checklists are done, essentially. All you gotta do is put flaps, gear flaps in and your landing check's done. So the point is, you're coming into some of the busiest airspace in the world.
Right.
Why not get as far ahead of everything as you can? There's nothing that says you can't do your approach, descent, and as much of your landing check out here as you can.
Oh, it's all done now.
It's all done. You feel good. You're just kind of waiting for things to happen.
But that's normal for me.
Yeah, that's great. It's the way it should be.
When would you start slowing down?
I'd probably keep the speed up for another. Start slowing down. You know, maybe when I make that turn.
Okay.
You're going to be under the Bravo here, and you got to be below 200. So that's a good time to start, you know, getting down to where your flap speeds and all that.
Southwest 1389.
Now you can err on the side of conservative, but the big thing is you're just working on throttle movements and muscle memory. That's a big thing. It's not like you got to go fast out here, but just I don't know how often you go into these busy airports where speed's such a factor. But even if you're not given a speed, you can just pick a speed and then work on, you know.
Number one single Papa, turn left heading 060, cut approach 125.35.
060-125.35, 5-1, take the Papa.
Southwest 1629, contact LA Center, 119.95.
2,600, Cherokee 159, train.
LA, it's 5-1, Tango Papa, 4,000.
501 Tango Papa, SoCal approach. I've got an area of light to moderate precipitation at your 12 o'clock and 6 miles. Does that seem accurate, or is that just my radar scope?
It's not accurate, 5-1, Tango Papa.
Perfect. 501 Tango Papa, let me know if you have information Yankee. You can expect the ILS 30, long reach altimeter is 3000, just to maintain 3,000.
So, do you think we're on the chart yet?
582, contact approach 121.3.
Probably not, but probably not, but you can check. Yeah, just there.
Makes it easy. Well, it'll probably bring us towards that, and then
40 kilo radar contact 2 miles west of Long Beach Airport. Maintain VFR.
It's probably going to tell you to join the localizer here pretty soon, so I would activate vectors to final.
Thanks for your help. John Lee Tower 126.8.
Blue Tower, thank you. See you later.
okay, flaps down.
And 674, start a left-hand turn to the Queen Mary.
Go to procedure and activate vectors to final, and that'll get you a green needle in the localizer.
657, your radar contact 1 mile southeast.
There you go. Now you got it. So when she tells you, oh, just be able to hit approach.
For climate 5,500 feet per.
Oh, as you blow through the localizer.
What happened here?
1 Tango Papa, Channel setting 330, join the localizer.
Okay, 320, join the localizer, 5-1, take the Papa.
November 674, contact Long Beach Tower 119.4.
64, 674, see you.
Alpha's 1840.
Okay.
Turn right.
I'm gonna hit.
0, back to 3 descent, needs to maintain 3,000.
Nav and the heading button to intercept.
Citation 1 Tango Papa, your 8 miles from Gunny, maintain 1,600 until you're established on the localizer. You are cleared ILS runway 30 approach.
Okay, 1600, and we're cleared for the approach, 5-1, Tango Papa. Oh, after Gunny, where?
Gunny's 1600.
What happened to this? Here we go.
You could hit approach here because you'll pick off the glide slope and then you'll go down to 6. There you go. I like how you hit nav because you weren't cleared for the approach.
Right.
And if you wrong time, it would take you down without.
Oh, ILS 30, right there.
Yeah,
That one.
that's what you're on.
Okay, I see the little hill now.
And if you just look to the right of the little hill, that's the airport.
Okay,
It's Signal Hill.
48 reaching 3,000, reduce speed of 170 knots. One Tango Papa, contact Long Beach Tower 119.4. Keep up your speed for me at a southwest, coming in fast behind you.
Okay, 511 Tango Papa, I'll keep her up as far as we can.
Thank you so much.
Santos 51977, descending via the OC2.
On the tower.
Information echo.
Forward descend, approved. Continue northbound, left base 26 left.
Left base 26 left.
Good. And 511 Tango Papa, inbound for the ILS 30.
Number 511 Tango Papa, Long Beach Tower, reduced speed, traffic is a bonanza, will proceed you through the intersection.
511 Tango Papa, affirmative, reduce speed.
1 Tango Papa, thank you much, runway 30, clear to land.
30, clear to land. Controller before you said speed it up, so we'll be happy to slow down.
Roger, sir, thank you very much. Roger.
Very nice.
I'll call you right for now.
I'll leave you up when after drop your call, right for now, signals come in.
500.
Okay, I'm looking for the box. With the Bassy, we're right on. Under to our descent height.
Tower banner to operations. We have a banner just about a foot on the runway. Can I grab it?
That's operations, affirmative, report clear.
Banner is clear.
Minimum.
That's operations, Brody.
Okay, back by hand. On my speed.
It's Green Donut right there. That's a little low.
Oh, I can't quite make that one.
There's another one right down there. Very nice, Chuck.
Maybe as good as you someday.
Okay, we just landed back at Long Beach after the training flight with Chuck. We went to Santa Maria. We got a departure procedure out of Long Beach, and then we didn't really get an arrival back into Long Beach, but we still got some good work in busy airspace, and a lot of people who don't fly in this kind of airspace often, and they're new to jet flying, needed to get some time and really kind of get practice doing it. So it's always easy to do here in LA where things are really busy. He did a great job. I don't really see any problems. He's got G1000 experience, so it went really well. And again, it highlights, he said some stuff about the TBM, his time in the TBM, and the comparison between a TBM and a Mustang, which a TBM is a great airplane, but if you look at the value proposition for a Mustang, I don't think you can really argue that it's probably one of the best values in aviation. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Thanks for watching.